Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhu, that Adilila 1.47 once explained Madi Prabhu, and how
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
for the
We'll
three
focus on
things.
Bhagavatam. We'll
I
focus on-
always get confused.
It's okay, Mata. We'll talk later on.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, let's read, continue reading. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tare Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadadi Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jahatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Kam karoti vachalam pangu langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Hare Krishna. So now we had the first question answered. The first question answered was the illusioned living entity. Sukadeva Goswami is saying the living entities are an illusion. Appears in so many forms. That means they take different bodies. Okay? Offered by the external energy of the Lord. That means these bodies are offered by Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti is combination of three modes of material nature. That means how it offers. Brahmaji only prepares your body, but it sets the precedence as to what sort of body has to be prepared. So, for example, it influences all three modes of energies. If someone gets attracted to the passionate energy and become very passionate in their consciousness activities, then their next body will help them to become more and more passionate, right? And that's how offered by the external energy of the Lord. While enjoying the three modes of material nature. So, the three modes of material nature, he is not averse to it, he is enjoying it. Yes, I want to be illusioned, I want to have the power, I want to have this, I want to have that. And the result is, the soul is encaged. Encaged means like a parrot, you put it in a cage, right? The soul is encaged in a parrot. The parrot is encaged in a metal box like that. The soul is encaged in this body. Engaged living entity misconceives is wrongly concludes, understanding, oh, this is what is true. I have a lot of wealth now, I have a lot of powers now, I have a lot of enjoyment opportunities. Oh, this is all for me. This is a great life. Let me go on enjoying it. Let me go on getting it. He misconceives. Thinking in terms of I and mine. That means the entire life is all about himself. He is the center of his life. And whatever he wants, his desires, he wants to just fulfill them. That's what the meaning is. So he says that is the position of the living entity. Okay. Though we know these things, summarizing tells that. So if you look at Prabhupada, the way he writes the purports, for example, you take Bhagavad Gita, right? In the second chapter, just a summary, and third chapter, which is Karma Yoga, Prabhupada is only talking about different kinds of actions, different kinds of reactions, what is prohibited, what is not prohibited, and how one can be detached to the reactions or the results and go on doing a service. Right? That's the consciousness is talking. Now, where is Bhakti over here? But Prabhupada will add Bhakti over there. Because Prabhupada does not want someone to wait till the 18th chapter to realize Bhakti Yoga. Okay? So similarly, you see, in Srimad Bhagavatam, everywhere, the key points, the key philosophies are again and again and again stressed in different methods. So that means we get stronger by reading them. We get very consistent in our thought process while reading them. That's the idea. Okay. So let's read 9.3 now. So the first position is the living entity is illusion. Now let's see 9.3. What is the answer? Okay. Yarhi vava mahimni sve parashmin kala mayayoha ramate gata sammohas prakto daste tadobhayam. As soon as the living entity becomes situated in its constitutional glory. Here, this mahimni, this is the key word here. Okay. So that is referring to his constitutional glory. He begins to enjoy transcendence beyond time and material energy. Look at this point. This is a very key point. What does he experience in spiritual life? He's experiencing spiritual consciousness beyond time and beyond material energy. That means what? Whatever material energy is available around us, we are not influenced by it. That means it cannot control us anymore. We are free. We are liberated. Okay. When does he get liberated? When Mahimne Sve, that means his constitutional glory. What is the constitutional glory? That he realizes that, oh, whatever life I'm possessing in this material world is not the true life. It is an illusioned life. But my position, my real position is to serve the lotus feet of Krishna, Hari. When he realizes that, and that is how the purpose of my creation is, when he realizes that, two things happens. What? The first thing happens is he gets disconnected from the material energy. Material energy cannot bother him. That's why you see when great acharyas, Vaishnavas, they speak the truth. Why? Because they are not influenced by the material energy. Okay. Now a non-devotee speaking Bhagavad Gita is influenced by the material energy, and hence you see the subject matter and the goals of his speaking will be different. The content will be different. His reference and illusions will be different. That's why it's not good to read or hear from a person who's influenced with the modes of material energy. Right? Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, then he says it's beyond time. Right? So Kala makes us, to move forward in our life, birth after birth. And within that birth, within a particular life also, Kala makes us to move forward with so many events of our life. Okay, but on Acharya, there's no events for him. The material events do not influence his activities. At all Kala, at all Desha, that means at all time, at all places, his only activity is to realize his constitutional position or constitutional glory and go on doing that, discharging his duties. That's the whole point here. Okay. then he at once gives up two misconceptions of life. Okay? Oh, this is not I. My life is not about me. My life is about my creator, my master. And my duty is, I want to be, what do you say, a portion in Krishna's Leela pastime. Now the materialist is thinking, every Leela should be about me, and the worship of God or anything, if at all it is there, it can be one part in my life. That means you can say, hey, this person is a PhD, he's a sportsman, he's this, he's that, he's so many material glories. He'll say he also worships Krishna. You see, he's making Krishna as part of his life into a small fragment. But a devotee, take the devotee. Devotee is all about his consciousness. His activity is all about centered around Krishna. Right? So he becomes fragmental in his consciousness, thoughts, and activities in front of his Lord. That's what is the first conception. That is I. Okay. Then what is mind? When we see anything in this material world, we get into this concept of enjoyment. This is created for my enjoyment, and this is for me. I want to control it. That is the concept of mind. Right? Once we realize that I am not the proprietor of it, I'm just a caretaker, and I have to use it in service of the Creator, the Almighty, then what happens? The concept of mind, is not gone. So, when the concept of mind is gone, let's assume someone goes into a loss. It can be a financial loss, a positional loss, or whatever it may be. He's not disturbed. Or someone is put into a situation where he gains something. He becomes a king, he becomes a minister, he becomes a powerful man. He wins the lottery, whatever it may be. He wins a match, he wins a game. He is not deluded. See, this is what it is. Sitoshna Shuka Dukha Daha. He's not deluded in this way, he's not deluded that way. Okay. Mahaprabhu says a very important aspect of this living entity when he leaves away his two misconceptions of life. When he leaves his two misconceptions of life, he is very strongly into the consciousness. That means he is in a complete deep meditative structure. That's what he is. He's always remembering the Lord and the quality of his service to the Lord. Lord means Lord plus Vaishnavas. Always remember that. Lord means not just to the Vigraha. Lord means Lord plus the servants of Lord. That means the Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu says the first symptom of a person who is in deep meditative consciousness of the Lord is he does not find differences in the Vedic versions. Okay, look at this beauty. Now, when we read Srimad Bhagavatham, you see many contradictions, right? Oh, Lord said to do this, but Lord is doing something else. You see, there's contradictions. Mahabharata, there's contradiction. Ramayana, there's so many contradictions. So Mahaprabhu reveals that who is into this meditative consciousness and understanding his constitutional glory, such a person will never see these contradictions. These contradictions, they all completely dissolve, they merge into a unified thought process to the lotus feet of Krishna. That's the beauty, he says. Otherwise, currently we have so much of contradictions, paradoxes. Then we try to read one scripture and say, no, let me read another scripture. Let me read another scripture. Let me try the truth. So we're confused. So that's a symptom of non-clarity. But a devotee who's practiced very nicely, he will never see confusion. He'll see everything flowing like that. How do you understand this? For example, an ocean. An ocean is where many rivers from that land, they come and reach the ocean. Some of the rivers are very furious. They're very violent in their turbulence. Some of the rivers are very voluminous, but they're very silent. Some of the rivers are like streams. They're very thin. Some of the rivers are very turbid. So you see different kinds of rivers. They all merge and they become unified. This is the difference. Mayavadis, they use this in a different concept and they misunderstand the Lord. But here, Mahaprabhu is telling the differences in Vedic understanding, they all will unify. And you will see one concept. That is Supreme Lord, the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. And this become fully manifested as a pure self. This is the position of a living entity. And this state is called a liberated state. That means this living entity could possess a body and live in this material world, but he is liberated in his consciousness. It is the mind, it is the chitta, it is the consciousness. So what is the consciousness? Consciousness is you can think consciousness is a binding force. Okay, so we are the soul, we are the material body constituting mind and the senses. So this consciousness is the one that binds the soul and the material senses, right? So now this consciousness, when it binds, what does it acquire? Okay, whether it is materialistic in thoughts or spiritualist in thoughts. So that's what is called as a pure self. Okay. So now we'll read this purport. This purport is a very important purport. It's a long purport. At least some portions of the purport we can read. Let me highlight some portions. Okay, so this we will read. So till here we have to read. Okay, someone can read the purport.
Hare Krishna, shall I read, Prabhu?
Read, Prabhu.
The two misconceptions of life, namely I and mine, are verily manifested in two classes of man. In the lower state, the conception of mind is very prominent, and in the higher state, the misconception of I is prominent. In the animal state of life, the misconception of mind is perceivable even in the category of cats and dogs, who fight with one another with the same misconception of mind. In the lower stage of
That's why when you see this mind is so strong in animal, what does it see? Wherever it sees food for itself. Oh, this food is for me, that food is for me, this food is for me. That's what the mind. That's why in animal consciousness, the mind is so high. But a human being who's evolved, if he shows the same mind consciousness, that means he is non-different from an animal, gopa, the pashu. Read, Prabhu.
human life, the same misconception is also prominent in the shape of it is my body, it is my house, it is my family, it is my caste, it is my nation, it is my country, and so on. And in the higher stage of speculative knowledge, the same misconception of mind is transformed into I am, or it is all I am, etc. There are many classes of men comprehending the same misconception of I and mine in different colors. But the real significance of I can be realized only when one is situated in the consciousness of I am the eternal servitor of the Lord. This is pure consciousness. And the whole Vedic literature teaches this conception of life. Shall I
Okay,
continue, Prabhu?
So this is the I, right? The I that I described. This is the I. Okay, now read the green, Prabhu.
The misconception of I am the Lord or I am the Supreme is more dangerous than the misconception of mind. Although there are sometimes directions in the Vedic literature to think oneself one with the Lord, that does not mean that one becomes identical with the Lord in every respect. Undoubtedly, there is oneness of the living entity with the Lord in many respects, but ultimately, the living entity is subordinate to the Lord, and he is constitutionally meant for satisfying the senses of the Lord. The Lord therefore asked the conditioned souls to surrender unto him. Had the living entities not been subordinate to the supreme will, why would the living entity be asked to surrender?
So this is a very important point, right? The Lord therefore asked the conditioned souls to surrender unto him. Had the living entities not been subordinate, Subordinate means who have accepted Lord and being a servant of Lord. Why would the living entity ask to surrender? This is important, right? So if the constitutional position of the living entity is servitude, then you better surrender. If the constitutional position is not servitude, then the Lord will not ask to surrender. That's the point.
Yeah.
And read this bottom Prabhu. Bhagavad
The
Gita.
Bhagavad Gita says that one can be freed from the control of material nature by surrendering unto the Supreme Lord. But if there is no surrender, then the living entity will never be able to control the material nature.
So what is there are two meanings to this. The first meaning, Prabhupada says there are only two possibilities. Either you surrender to Krishna or you surrender to material nature. That's all. There is no third state. Prabhupada says this. So if I'm going to surrender to material nature, that means Krishna is not going to be in your life. If you say, no, I'll surrender to Krishna, then the material nature will not play a role in your life. This is the point. Now here, there is one more statement that's made. But if there is no surrender, then the living entity will never be able to control the material nature. Okay, so what does this mean? If I'm controlling material nature, I won't get Krishna. If I'm surrendering to Krishna, then it says I will be able to control material nature. So what does this mean? This means like this. So if we are not surrendering to Krishna, we are surrendering to material nature. We are illusion to think that we are controlling material world, but we are never controlling it. That's the point, first point. The illusion, we are thinking that I'm in control of the material life, but actually you are never. The most powerful man has got defeated. The most weakest man has got defeated. And it is the proof. Okay? Alexander the Great, who is considered to be the most powerful king in the entire planet, he got defeated. The Kauravas were once upon a time the most strongest and powerful. They conquered the entire world and they got defeated. So people think that I'm in control of material nature, but I get defeated. Now look at the contradictory statement here. It says, nature by surrendering unto the Supreme Lord, but if there is no surrender, then the living entity will never be able to control the material. That means, if I surrender to my Lord, I'll be able to control material nature. That means what? The material nature will not influence me, but the material nature will listen to what I want to accomplish. The material nature will become subservient. Material nature will support my cause and my activities. That is the beauty. That means what? A Vaishnava thinks, I think we should do this program in this nice manner. Just he thinks the program will happen beautifully. Prabhupada thought this, we should get a temple here. Immediately, the devotee got empowered, all the material elements came into place, the temple manifested. So you see, to fulfill the thoughts of a spiritual leader, the material energy worked to manifest that temple. That's what he wanted. This is the beauty. So, if someone has a desire to control material nature, he better surrender to Krishna rather than trying by his own will. Okay. Then, yeah, this is also good. Okay. Read, Prabhu.
The Supreme Truth. The Supreme Truth is uncontaminated by the illusory energy because he is the control of that energy. The relative truths are apt to be engrossed in the illusionary energy. The best purpose is served, however, when one is directly facing the Supreme Truth, as when one faces the sun. The sun overhead in the sky is full of light, but when the sun is not in the visible sky, all is in darkness. Similarly, when one is face to face with the Supreme Lord, he is freed from all illusions. And one who is not so is in the darkness of illusory Maya. The Bhagavad Gita 14.26 confirms this as follows. Mantayo vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate Sagunan samati taitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Okay. So very important sloka, this one. This is also your Bhakti Shastri sloka to remember and mug up. So mug up this sloka, 14.26. Even in your dreams, you should remember this sloka. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that um, whenever you are in Krishna consciousness, you will see there is that aspect of devotion keeps pouring out from your heart. Okay. So to check whether it is true or not, don't do much association with devotees. Stay away from them for a short period of time. Don't do any reading, no hearing, nothing. Chanting also you may do or you may not do. See what happens to you in just a matter of weeks' time or 10 days. You will see that, oh Prabhu, whatever I read in Bhagavad Gita, I seem to have forgotten it. Whatever I read in Bhagavatham also I forgot. You will see that your memory is completely depleted of all these things. I'll give an example. There was one devotee very nicely practicing, but due to some personal issues and things like that, he stopped practice for a while. Can you believe for him reciting Premadhvani used to come like that from his mouth? He could not recite Premadhvani. He's struggling to think and say, what is next? What is next? That powerful it is. So, at all points in time, Prabhupada says, you can think of Krishna, you can meditate on Krishna, you can talk about Krishna, you can walk about Krishna, everything about Krishna at all points. And that is the glory of a devotee. He is influenced by the spiritual nature. So, I'll take this sloka for you. 6.1. You can see this sloka. Share this. Okay. So this sloka, you look at this sloka, what Krishna says. Yogi nama api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mata. Look at all these things, what Krishna says. Of all the yogis are one who's trying to connect to Krishna in different methods. He's called a yogi. The act he's performing. The one with great faith always abides in me. Always. So much of faith in Lord. Thinks of me within himself. When? At all times. And renders transcendental loving service unto me. For him, you don't need a paraphernalia, like a arti paraphernalia or boga or nothing. He just wants reciting those slokas which glorifies Krishna. In the meditative aspect, he meditates on the activities of the Lord and trying to serve the Lord in his heart. He renders transcendental loving service. It doesn't say physical loving service, transcendental loving service. Is the most intimately, look at this word, intimately. So dear he is. Who's intimately related to Krishna? Radharani. Radharani is very intimate to Krishna. But he says, a yogi in this consciousness is intimately related with me in yoga and is highest of all. And Krishna says, that's my opinion. Right? So this is the position. The moment he moves away from that thoughts, moves away from rendering that service, that intimacy with the Lord goes away. It gets diluted. He farther, the more the time he does, Maya is waiting for an opportunity. He captures him and takes him further and further and further. And that is how we got landed up in this material world. Okay. Is this point clear?
Just proof.
Okay. That's the right questions carrying. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we concluded. Okay. So just read this conclusion. Yeah. So the perfect process.
The perfect process is to accept Lord Vasudeva as the supreme in everything. And the best perfection in culturing knowledge is to surrender unto him because he is the source of everything. Only in that conception can one get rid of the misconception of I and mine. Both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam confirm it. Srila Vyasadeva especially contributed to the illusion living entity, the science of God, and the process of Bhakti Yoga in the great literature Srimad Bhagavatam, and the conditioned soul to fully take advantage of this great science. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the best perfectionist culturing knowledge is to surrender unto him. We learn all these things not for any material gain or personal gain, or not to show off, right? So if you're doing a Bhakti Vaibhav course or a Bhakti Shastri course, don't do the course for certification. Do the course for self-realization. If you do it for certification, then you're not doing what Krishna is recommending. Do it for self-realization. Certification should be a byproduct of it. It should not be the goal. Okay. Let's go to next sloka.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, just one paragraph before Prabhu, I need some clarification, Prabhu.
Son here.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. See, the relative truths are apt to be engrossed in illusory energy. So, how to understand this, Prabhu?
So relative truth means what? You're thinking, for example, I am saying, Ashwath Narayana Prabhu, you're the strongest man. Okay. When I say that you're the strongest man, what am I comparing you with? Am I comparing you with a boy who is very small, or am I compared to a person who is very weak, where he can lift only 5 kgs of weight? Or I can compare you with someone else who is challenged. So when I compare to these personalities, I may say, Prabhu, you're very strong. Now let's say I'm going to compare you with a boxer, with a wrestler who's a worldwide champion. Then I will say, oh, Prabhu, you're very weak. Correct? So when you make a statement, when you read Vedic scripture conclusion, what is it that you're measuring that with? And that's called relative truth. So when we don't understand the difference between absolute truth and relative truth, it says you will be engrossed in illusion energy, because that's what the relative truth is. So another simple example. We say Lord Brahma, we say Lord Ganesha, we say Lord Parvati. But Lord generally refers to the Lord who's God. But how come when Vishnu is there, you call Brahma as Lord? That means he's also equal to Vishnu. Ganesha also is equal to Vishnu. Is that the way understanding is? No. It is relative. To the subject that I'm discussing, to the book that I'm reading, in association of devotees that I'm reading, what is it? That is what the thing is. So it's called relative truth. Whenever we use relative truth for our understanding, it says engrossed in illusion energy. That means we are not speaking the right thing. We are illusioned in our consciousness. And that's what the materialists do. Materialists, what they do? They go in front of the mirror like this. See, I'm so beautiful. I'm the best. That's very relative. Is it clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Now my understanding is that, Prabhu. See, now that our faith is that Supreme Lord is the absolute truth.
Supreme Lord Krishna.
Correct. Supreme Lord Krishna is the absolute truth. So when I think that, in relative terms, then that I'm engrossed in the illusory energy.
Yes. Okay, what can be a relative term? Here
So
and now.
I will compare the Supreme Lord with other demigods.
Demigods, or for example, in Mahabharata, Duryodhana compared Lord to a magician. Yeah, Lord does magic, magician also does magic. So both are same. Like they compared. Huh? Yeah, then continue, Prabhu.
Thank you. That's it. Yeah. I wanted to understand that.
Correct. Right? So
Thank you.
absolute means there's no referential point.
Yes.
Nothing that you can compare. In relative means there are enough like-minded or equals that I can compare.
Yes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Hare. Okay. So let's read 9.4. Atma Tattva Vishuddhi Artham Yat Aha Bhagavan Ritam Brahmane Darshayan Rupam Avyalika Vrutadrutaha. O King, the personality of Godhead being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non-deceptive penance in Bhakti Yoga. Now look at it, non-deceptive. Okay. Presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma. And that is the objective goal for purifying the conditions. Look at this, what fantastically is explained. Okay, let's read this again. The personal Godhead being very much pleased with Lord Brahma. What happened? Because Brahma was told, go and meditate. Chant this mantra and meditate. Gayatri mantra. So he recited the Gayatri mantra and he started to meditate. Because he meditated so deeply, so perfectly, all the misconceptions that is there, they went away. His bhakti yoga unto the Lord became very pure. No contradictions, no deceptions. Okay. Presented his eternal and transcendental form before Lord Brahmaji. Because of the purity in bhakti yoga, the Lord presented his transcendental form before Brahmaji. And that is objective goal for purifying conditions. So that means this is the same method that we should follow. Okay, so what does this method means to us? Now, Prabhupada has given us many methods of devotion. Let's list down some methods of devotion. For example, you may say, I want to book distribution. All right. Is the book distribution, what is the objective of book distribution? This knowledge, this great knowledge should reach to people. That is the objective of book distribution. But what we are doing? Competing. I want numbers. I want to reach 100. I want to reach 200. Better than him. I'll cut his competitive mentality by undercutting the price. I will force someone until he buys. So I use these deceptive methods. Then what happens? The consciousness of pure bhakti gets distorted. See, book distribution, the purpose must be kept and accordingly we should act. But when we act in different manner, then what happens? We get into fights with other Vaishnavas. We feel lost. We force people to do things. This Prabhupada never taught us all these things. Prabhupada said, derive the energy from the Lord by surrendering onto him under his shelter to a very, a devoted seva of book distribution. Then you will see, you will enjoy book distribution. This is the key, right? I'm just giving an example. Let's say Prabhupada talked about deity worship. Prabhupada talked about regulative principles. Prabhupada talked about chanting or even reciting a Gayatri mantra. Sachin Maharaj tells, once he was having a wound on his right hand. What he did, he used to recite the Gayatri mantras by just looking at the wound for 7 days or 8 days. The wound got cured. He had fever. He meditated to the Lord for the fever by reciting the Gayatri mantra. The fever went away. So the point to understand here is, these mantras are very transcendental and very powerful. If you use it to enhance your devotion and service on the Lord, and that should be the meditative aspect of your consciousness while chant the holy name or while reciting the Bible. That means completely meditative, deep, and the objective is to please the Lord. So remember to keep the objective very clear. Practices to be pure, consciousness will reach its goal. This is the point here. So the conditioned soul can be purified by practicing his devotion service very detailedly. If a conditioned soul practices devotion practices, nam kevas, very shallow, very offensive in nature, somehow complete and get out. You will see that objective goal of purifying the consciousness can never happen. He'll go on doing it for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, birth after birth. Ask the question to yourself, why have I come to ISKCON? Is to become temple president and sit here? No, that's not why I came here. Is to control devotees so that I can become the well-known, very powerful. Mahaprabhu said, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. So I am doing it.
ತೊಳ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ ಬಿಡಮ್ಮ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿ ತೊಳಿತೀಯ ಪಾಪ ಅಂತ.
So Mahaprabhu said, did say all these things. You come here for what? What's our purpose to coming to ISKCON? Just to purify our consciousness. So that our bhakti yoga unto the Lord can be successful. If you come here for any other purpose, you're wasting your time. I mean, there is an indirect benefit, but the direct benefit cannot be. That's why you see Katwanga Rishi. He fought for thousands of years for the demigods because they requested him. After the war was won, he said, see, whatever you wanted, I did it. Now I need to finish my purpose of human life. So I'll go back to my home place, that is earth, Martya Loka, and I'll practice my devotion. What did all the demigods do? We are so thankful that what you've done for us. We all bless you that you will be able to be successful in your mission. So they all got that blessing. The point here to understand is we can be far more successful through blessing rather than curse. So when will blessing come and when will curse come? I keep fighting with all other Vaishnavas. What will I get? Will I get blessing or curse? What will I get?
Yes, Prabhu.
First,
Curse. Now I am always lovingly serving the Vaishnavas by very being friendly. Whether they're right or wrong, I am not here to determine. But I'll serve them very nicely. Even if I don't serve them, at least deal with them very nicely in a loving manner. What do I get? Even if I don't get blessings, I will not get curse. So that is what will make our life. So Katwanga Rishi got the blessings of the demigods to achieve his goal. What is the goal? The goal is to purify his consciousness. He came because he was there in the higher planetary system. Many generations of people have come and gone away. He thought he was a king and he's coming back. He saw, oh, everything has changed. I don't have any more role here. More life is not there anymore here. He just sat, just left all his material consciousness, duties, everything, and just surrendered to the Lord for one muhurta. That's it. He finished his purification, went back home, back to God. So this is the most important thing. One should learn the Atma Tattva so nicely. What is Atma Tattva? Truth about the soul. What is truth about the soul? Why are you created? Why are you taking bodies? Why are you living here? What is the purpose? That's called Atma Tattva. Do we understand Atma Tattva? Then let's attack on it. So that's the whole thing here. So let's read this one paragraph from here to here. Very beautiful it is. Okay, please come forward, one of you.
Hare Krishna. Shall I read, Prabhu?
Read.
Yes. Atma Tattva is the science of both God and the living entity. Both the Supreme Lord and the living entity are known as Atma. The Supreme Lord is called Paramatma and the living entity is called Atma. The Brahma or the Jiva. Both the Paramatma and the Jivatma, being transcendental to the material energy, are called Atma. So, Shukadeva Goswami explains this verse with the aim of purifying the truth of both the Paramatma and the Jivatma. Generally, people have many wrong conceptions about both of them. The wrong conception of the Jivatma is to identify the material body with the pure soul. And the wrong conception of Paramatma is to think him on an equal level with the living entity. But both misconceptions can be removed by one stroke of Bhakti Yoga. Just as in the sunlight, both the sun and the world and everything within the sunlight are properly seen. In the darkness, one cannot see the sun, nor himself, nor the world. But in the sunlight, one can see the sun, himself, and the world around him. Srila Shukadeva Goswami therefore says that for purification of both wrong conceptions, the Lord presented his eternal form before Brahmaji, being fully satisfied by Brahma's non-deceptive vow of discharging Bhakti Yoga. Except for Bhakti Yoga, any method for realization of Atma Tattva or the science of Atma will prove deceptive in the long run. Hare Krishna.
Right? That means I'm going to Bombay, but I actually didn't reach Bombay. I reached the Nagpur, something like that. Deceptive means cheating, you can say. It looks like clear, but actually it confused me to do something else. That's called deceptive. So now you see, when we practice Bhakti Yoga, and that too what consciousness? State of pure consciousness. What is the pure consciousness? I'm doing Aarti today. I am offering the Bhoga to the Lord today. I'm reading the book today. I'm doing book distribution today. I'm performing the festival today. For what purpose? Ask that question. When you ask that question and refine your actions and thought process, that's called pure bhakti. If you don't ask that question, just with your mind, just blindly do it. That is not pure bhakti, it's Mishra bhakti. Mishra bhakti leads you to wrong destination. You're thinking you're going to Vrindavan, but actually you landed up somewhere else. Just like Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, they all confused him and took him to Shantipur. But of course, that was transcendental. That is the act of Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya's Leela. But it should not become like that. Huh? Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Okay, now 9.5. Sa adidevo jagatam paro guruhu swadishnyam astaya sishrikshaya shayakshata tam nadya gachat darsham atta sammatam prapancha nirmana vidiryaya bhave. Lord Brahma, the first spiritual master, supreme to the universe, could not trace out the source of the lotus seed. And while thinking of creating the material world, he could not understand the proper direction of such creative work. Nor could he find the process of such creation. You see, a man fully lost in his direction. Now, there are two statements here. Statement. Sorry? Please mute. If you're asking a question, you can unmute. Otherwise, please keep me mute. Thank you. Okay. So there are two things here. The first, could not trace out the source of his lotus seed and while thinking of creating the material world. Now, what does that mean? That means if you try to speculate what is the right knowledge or right information and trying to do a search program, you'll never be able to find it. That's what it means. So you can see why Jnana Yogis fail. They may do research on knowledge for millions of births, but they'll still never be able to get it. Okay. Then how come Bhakti Yoga is alone supreme? Bhakti Yoga supreme is very simple. When we render transcendental, loving transcendental devotion unto the Lord who's sitting as Paramatma in the heart, he reveals the truth. When he reveals the truth is perfect, it is non-dual, and it reaches you to the right source and destination. Because of that, Bhakti Yoga is clear. Second, other yoga methods are time-consuming and requires lot of labor. But Bhakti Yoga is straight and it achieves the result in the shortest duration because it is an act of the Lord. Now, when does the Lord act? When he sees endeavor, when he sees the enthusiasm, when he sees the real consciousness in your heart, it is palpitating for this. He opens up the opportunity. So, now you can see when we read slokas, the Lord is pure, the Lord is working, or rather saying working, Lord always is wanting the welfare of the living entity. This is the point. So that's why you see, Bhakti Yoga can give you result instantaneously in the shortest period. So here, could not trace the source of the lotus seed, whatever he tried. In fact, after his birth, Brahmaji saw all four directions, pitch dark, no knowledge, full of ignorance, no direction about the self, no direction about the environment. And he said, okay, I'll search the truth. You want to search the truth. He got down from his lotus, then started to look around. He couldn't find anything. Then he saw one stem going. Okay, let's see. Maybe I came through the stem, maybe I'll go back and trace the stem, source of the stem, then I'll find the truth. So he tried. He went for millions of years. He could not find. So what is this? This is never ending it is. Then again he came back and sitting on the lotus, the center, the bud, whatever you call it as. Then Lord, out of his causeless mercy, told him, try this. What are you supposed to try? Meditate on a particular sloka to enhance your bhakti. So you see, the Lord is the enabler of Brahmaji able to clarify his doubt. The Lord is the cause. So you can see those connections. Then what did he do? He could not understand proper direction, such creative work, nor he could find the path of such process of creation. Nothing he could find. Everything is illusion. The same thing for us also. If Lord's mercy doesn't act on us, not even one verse we will understand from Bhagavad Gita properly. Not one purport also will understand. Neither you will get the taste, neither you will get the taste. So that's why you see, Prabhupada always says, the devotees are more merciful from the Lord. Sometimes what happens, Lord will say, nothing doing, no mercy on you. But the devotees are very soft. What they do? No, Lord, I will do your role of giving that mercy to him. Please accept him. That's why you see, devotees are more powerful than the Lord. In giving this aspect of it. Right? So hence we say, oh Prabhupada, I don't know whether Krishna will accept me or not, I'll surrender unto you. Please accept me. So even though we are not eligible, Prabhupada said, I am giving you that eligibility. That is the point here. Okay. Let's see which one. Okay, we'll read this entire purport. It's a nice one. Someone read the entire purport.
Can I read, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Read, Prabhu.
This verse is the prelude for explaining the transcendental nature of the form and the abode of the Lord. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatham, it has already been said that Supreme Absolute Truth exists in his own abode without any touch of deluding energy.
The three modes of
Three modes of nature. Therefore, the kingdom of God is not a myth, by factually a different and transcendental sphere of planets known as the Vaikunthas. Vaikuntha. This will also be explained in this chapter. Such knowledge of the spiritual sky, far above this material sky and its paraphernalia, can be known only by dint of devotional service or bhakti yoga. The power of creation by Lord Brahma was also achieved by bhakti yoga. Brahmaji was bewildered in the matter of creation, and he could not even trace out the source of his own existence. But all this knowledge was fully achieved by him through the medium of Bhakti Yoga. By Bhakti Yoga, one can know the Lord, and by knowing the Lord as a supreme, one is able to know everything else. One who knows the supreme knows everything
Everything
else.
else.
This is the version of all Vedas. Even the first spiritual master of universe was enlightened by the grace of the Lord. So, so who else can attain the perfect knowledge of everything without the mercy of the Lord? If anyone desires to seek perfect knowledge of everything, he must seek the mercy of the Lord, and there is no other means. To seek the knowledge on the strength of one's personal attempt is a sheer waste
Here
of
we go.
time.
God is making it very clear now. Huh?
Yes.
So the conclusive evidence is like this. In our material creation, right, there are only 64 subjects of knowledge. Okay. So there are only 64 vidyas. Okay. So now the soul, that is we, the living entity, Atma, is called Satchit Ananda. Okay. Sat is eternal, Ananda is bliss, Chit is knowledge. How much knowledge he possesses? He possesses all the 64 subjects of knowledge in totality. That means wherever I go in this material world, be it land, earth, Panchabhuta, or be it activities, or be it languages, or be it the subject knowledge of, let's say, cooking, some sports, technology, everything's aware to this soul. Okay? We all know. That means, for example, today how many people are there? Today 32 people are there. All 32 people know all the languages of this world. Fully. Then I ask a question, Prabhuji, I don't know Latin, which is predominantly in the European, in the Middle East region. Then how are you saying I know? No, the point is like this. You know all the languages, but they are conditioned or covered by the external energy of mind. Okay. So now what are we doing? We're going and learning that particular knowledge, subject, and uncovering that one knowledge alone. But that's very difficult. Why? Because look at the infinite source of knowledge around us. We don't have time. So we approaching to solve is our own endeavor, and that's not bhakti. But by mercy of the Lord, if the chit potency is revealed for us, then all the knowledge in this world is revealed to us. So hence, when we do bhakti yoga, what does the Lord do? The Lord unconditions us from the material influence. So hence, language is a knowledge fully revealed to us. Science is knowledge fully revealed to us. So you see, people are doing PhD in one subject, but there are, just by doing bhakti yoga, you can become PhD in all subjects. That's the beauty here. And that's what Brahmaji did. So you should know, Chit potency is fully revealed as you practice more and more bhakti. The unconditioning will begin. Okay, so let's read this sloka 9.6. Sa chintayan. How come this got highlighted? Okay. Sa chintayan vi aksharam ekadambashi upashrinod gatitam vacho vibhu sparsheshu yat sodasham ekavimsham nikinchan nishkinchananam nripayadhanum viduhu. While this engaged in thinking in the water, it's talking about Brahmaji. Brahmaji heard twice from nearby two syllables joined together, O and Yam. One of the syllables was taken from the 16th, and the other from the 21st of the Sparsha alphabets. And both joined to become the wealth of the renounced order of life. That is letter O. Okay. So now let's see this purport here. This purport is a little bit bigger, but we'll read it because we'll understand how Brahmaji began. Okay. Someone read in Sanskrit.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Shall I read, Prabhu?
Read, Mataji.
In Sanskrit language, the consonant alphabets are divided into two divisions, namely the Sparshavarnas and the Tal
Talavya Varnas.
Talavya Varnas. From Ka to Ma, the letters are known as the Sparshavarnas, and the 16th of the group is called Ta, whereas the 21st letter
Called Pa.
is called Pa. So when they are joined together, the word Tapa or penance is constructed. This penance is the beauty and wealth of the Brahmanas and the renounced order of life. According to Bhagavata philosophy, every human being is meant simply for this tapa and for no other business, because by penance only can one realize his self, and self-realization, not sense gratification, is the business of human life. This tapa or penance was begun from the very beginning of the creation, and it was first adopted by the supreme spiritual master Lord Brahma. By tapasya only can one get the profit of human life, and not by a polished civilization of animal life. The animal does not know anything except sense gratification in the jurisdiction of eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy. But the human being is made to undergo tapasya for going back to Godhead, back home. When
So,
Lord
so tapa is the key. What is tapa? Tapa means voluntarily accepting a difficulty from this bodily platform so that one can get transcendental peace. Right? Now, what does this voluntarily accepting difficulty means? It means that we move away from bodily consciousness, that means thinking about the body, and move ourselves into transcendental consciousness. That's what it is. That means what I care for the transcendental platform, but I don't care for the body. When I don't care for the body, that means the body is deprived of its enjoyment. And that's why it's called difficulty. Hence, it's called tapa. When Brahmaji was perplexed, we'll read.
when Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestations in the universe, and he went down within the water to find out the means and the source of his lotus seat, he heard the word tapa vibrated twice. Taking the path of tapa is the second birth of the desiring disciple. The word upashrunat is very significant. It is similar to Upanayana, or bringing the disciple nearer to the spiritual master for the path of tapa. So Brahmaji was thus initiated by Lord Krishna, and this fact is corroborated by Brahmaji himself in his book, the Brahma Samhita. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma has sung in every verse, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Thus, Brahma was initiated by the Krishna mantra, by Lord Krishna himself, and thus he became a Vaishnava, or a devotee of the Lord, before he was able to construct the huge universe. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita that Lord Brahma was initiated into the 18-letter Krishna mantra, which is generally accepted by all the devotees of Lord Krishna. We follow the same principle because we belong to the Brahma Sampradaya, directly in the disciplic chain from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, from Vyasa to Madhvamuni, from Madhvamuni to Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri to Ishvara Puri, from Ishvara Puri to Lord Chaitanya, and gradually to his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, our divine master. One who is thus initiated in the disciplic succession is able to achieve the same result or power of creation. Chanting of this holy mantra is the only shelter of the desireless pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by such tapasya or penance, the devotee of the Lord achieves all perfections like Lord Brahma. Hari Hari. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So when on Ekadasi we are doing a tapa, what is a tapa? Eat less, think of the Lord more, do bhajans more, uh, read his slokas in the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatham. So when we do these things, that means what? We are coming out of bodily consciousness and getting more transcendental consciousness. Right? Lord is pleased. On Ekadasi, Lord is very, very merciful. Right? That means an awarder of 100 rupees on regular day, on Ekadasi is an awarder of 1 lakh rupees. Like that. Right? So on Ekadasi is a great advantage. And one should take advantage of that. Like the power methods. Right? So in our culture, we have many such instances. For example, on festivals, you take tapa. You do more service to the Lord, but you fast. Eating means, see, there are many koshas, right? Annamaya kosha is the entry level kosha. The Anandamaya kosha is the extreme level of kosha. So the Lord is trying to tell, by inducing tapa, you move away from Annamaya kosha more and more towards Anandamaya kosha. Of course, the Vijnanamaya and all other things are intermediate states, but the final state is Anandamaya kosha. That means come out of bodily consciousness and become more transcendental in his consciousness. That is what Anandamaya kosha can do. If you keep eating a lot, then you are more Annamaya kosha. I want to eat 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day. I want this, I want that, I want like this, I want like that. So then that's all Annamaya consciousness. You need food for your maintenance of this body and survival. You don't need food to keep satisfying your tongue. That's why Mahaprasha sloka is also like that. Sharira vidya jal jodendrita hekal. So that the Sharira vidya jal is all talking about this tongue. It's telling this tongue is a very nasty fellow. It wants to keep on tasting. And then it searches. And it tells the mind, go search here, go search there, get this, eat that, get that. It's all bodily consciousness, Annamaya consciousness. So when you do tapa, this Annamaya consciousness moves away because there's no more food. There's not much food for you. So what do? You become more Anandamaya consciousness. You move towards transcendental experience, blissful experience. So that's why you see, as we grow older and older, not out of bodily difficulties, by the mind's tapa mentality in our mind, we should let go. Let go everything. Let go material attachments. Let go samsara, that means family attachments. Let go food attachments. You start to eat lesser, simpler. I would rather say lesser, I would say simpler. Right? So this is tapa mentality. Now we are going to follow the same path as what Brahmaji followed. He followed this tapa mentality, he achieved his bliss. He was able to not only achieve his bliss, he also got empowered to create. That means whatever thought you have to serve Krishna, that also get empowered. That's the mood. That's tapas. Okay. So let's read one more sloka, 9.7. Vishamyatat vaktir didikshaya disho vilokya tantranayat apasyamanaha swadishnayam astaya vimrishatadhitam tapasya upadishta vivadade manaha. So, in fact, if you look at Varnashrama system also is done like that. So, for example, in your youth, when the body is very healthy, it says practice Grastha life. What is Grastha life? Grastha life means enjoy samsara, enjoy material duties, enjoy food, enjoy all these things. But when you finish your Grastha life, which is for about 25 years, 50, and beyond 50, you get into Vanaprastha life. Vanaprastha life is what? Reversal Grastha life. Begin practice. It just says, it just begin practice of detachment. Begin practice of let go your Annamaya consciousness. Give away all these things step by step, step by step. So that's the pre-time before you take sannyasa. In sannyasa state, what happens? It's not that you need a danda. It needs consciousness evolution. So in the Vanaprastha stage, renunciation begins and practice of renunciation. But in sannyasa state, you fully renounced. There's no more attachment. That's the whole point. Okay. So this sloka. When he heard the sound, who? Brahmaji is hearing the sound. He tried to find the speaker. From where the sound is coming. Searching on all sides, but he was unable to find anyone besides himself. He thought it was wise to sit down on the lotus feet firmly and give his attention to the execution of the penance that as he was instructed. What he was instructed? Do tapa. What is the tapa? Meditate. So even though he heard, where is the source coming? What is this? He did not do that, but he get back to his instruction. Okay. So we'll see this. Okay, so yeah. So this sloka, there is not much in explanation, but we'll go to sloka number 9.8. Divyam sahasrabdam amoga darshano jita nilatma vijito bhayendriya atapyata smakila lokatapanam tapastapiyam staptam samahitah. When Lord Brahma underwent penances for 1,000 years of calculation of demigods, that means 1,000 celestial years, right? He heard this transcendental vibration from the sky. Somewhere it came, we don't know. That sound came. And he accepted it as divine. Thus he controlled his mind and senses, and the penances he executed was a great lesson for believing entities. Thus he is known as the greatest of all ascetics. That means great tapa, great yogi, great tapasya. Brahmaji is called, right? So what are we supposed to do? We should also take up the chanting of the mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, in the same fashion. In 24 hours of time, 2 hours you give away for this chanting of the mantra. No activity must be. Even all of the material activities should not disturb us. That's why we should pick a time when the whole world is asleep. So that's why it is said you get up in the morning and sit down and chant. When you sit down and chant at that time and the whole world is not awake, you get a great opportunity to control your mind and senses and focus on what you're chanting. That's why Brahma Muhurta is a very valuable time. And when you execute that time, that is your penance, that is your tapa. When we sit down at that time and perform this tapa, hearing what we chant, it will purify. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna. That kata is there in the Harinam. The five primary rasas are the primary qualities of Harinam. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nijasharu. No, not that. Which is the 6th verse of Sikshashtakam. Nayanam Galadashrudaraya Ganam Gadgadarudaya Gira. Pulakai Nichitam Vapukala Tavanam Grahane Bhavishyati. So all the 5 primary transcendental rasas and the 7 secondary transcendental rasas are embedded in this holy name. By continuously reciting that holy name and performing that tapasya, the holy name will reveal all the rasas onto your heart. You get the taste of the holy name. So choose a time when no one is there, no one is disturbed by you, no material elements are active. You do this. So let's say we chant after 8 o'clock, for example. It's more passionate. Phone calls will come, that activity, this activity, you're hungry, nature call, so many things will come and disturb us. So we're doing tapasya, but our tapasya is, is impure. Our tapasya is not qualitative. So when you're giving time for Harinam, that's it, that's the only activity. We cannot walk, we cannot sleep, we cannot do this, we cannot do this. That's all bodily activities. Either you do that or you do this. That's why it's very important. Right? So tapasya means accepting voluntary difficulty on the material body so that my transcendental activities can give us the highest importance. Thereby the mind and senses get control. Okay. So this is what Brahmaji did. And our Acharya is writing that Brahmaji is dead. That, and let us follow that because he is our primary spiritual master. So you see all the sampradayas, they all follow the same methods. Do this, do this, do this. This is proven, role model. Yadyat acharati shreshas tat eva bhavajana. It's proved, he's proven it. Take it. Just follow. So, whatever we practice, it may be 3 times Gayatri Mantra you're doing, it may be 16 rounds of chanting you're doing, or you may be cooking for the Lord, or you're performing the arati for the Lord. Do it as a tapasya. This is the key to success. Even while reading, don't zip. Read it with involvement. What is Prabhupada writing here? What is Brahmaji saying? Have I understood? All the devotee clarify. That's most important. Be always relevant to the subject and the consciousness that you're talking. Be there. Don't be somewhere else. If you're reading Bhagavatam 2.8.31, be in 2.8.31. Don't be in somewhere else. That's the point. So, practically speaking, so devotees, what they should do, the biggest challenge for devotees is financial problems, economic. Get rid of it. Plan your life at the early age of your life. Get rid of economic problems. If you say, Prabhuji, I have a house, I'm done, I need monthly 50,000 rupees to take care. Plan for that, invest wherever it needs to be. Don't worry about where you're investing, all these things. Just ensure that the safety is there and sit down tight. That's it. Because your goal is not that. Your goal is not perfecting your material life. Your goal is perfecting your spiritual life. So go do that. So get rid of your responsibilities. You have children, get them married. Whatever you need to give it away. Tell them this is your problem henceforth. It's not my problem. Don't disturb me. Don't allow them to again bother you in your life. So get ready. Get ready to yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antara. Get ready for that yogic practice. Like Brahmaji, we all can become greatest of all ascetics. Ascetics. That's the most important. So, get rid of all your material duties at the earliest. Don't put a comma in your life. Put a full stop. Get rid of it. Okay? Is this point clear? If you are continuing going to do these things again and again, even after the Vanaprastha age which you're supposed to take, that means you're putting a comma in your material life. A comma in your material life means material birth again. Once again, you have to come back here. So don't get delusion. We are only a caretaker for our wealth. We are not the owner of the wealth. We have to let it go while we go back. So that's the key. Whatever you achieve, you have to leave it back here. So don't go after it. So let's become good yogic. Yogic practices, good tapa mentality. Get rid of bodily discomfort. Beat it. Tell your mind, I want to experience Anandamaya Kosh. Tell your mind and do it. Okay, we'll end here for today's class and we'll continue in the next class. I hope you're all getting interested about Brahmaji's life.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu, very much.
Yes,
How he-
Prabhu, but we don't know how to practice. That's a problem.
The last two
Hey,
lines is very, very
Mataji,
attractive, Prabhu.
we are teaching many of these practices so many times. What is the difficulty? You see, the problem is our devotees try to achieve 10 things parallelly at the same time. That is not good. You will not be able to achieve that. Take one thing and do it properly. Then take the next thing. Then take the next thing. If you have a bunch of sticks, can I break it? I can't break it. If I have only one stick, I can bend it, I can break it. So that is called core competency. In English, it is used that. What is core competency? Take one thing at a time, do good at its best. That's called core competency. Today, in the entire business world, core competency is one that makes business houses great. See? Even meteorologists prove. Spiritual life also do the same thing. Take one thing. Let's say you want to focus on cooking. Take that cooking. Nicely do that. Learn the technique. Now I'm good at it. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Simple. You will succeed. There's no doubt about it. Okay. Any other thoughts?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. What you said is, everyone is best at his own, job. So do the best, give the best what you are.
Yes.
Maybe in cooking, maybe in preaching, maybe even the smallest job also. Give the best.
Do it with involvement. Involve yourself greatly. Yeah. Good, good.
Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita 7.17, Prabhu, Krishna himself says that yogi who is Nitya Yukta, completely engaged in Eka Bhaktir, in the devotional service,
Eka Bhakti.
Eka Bhaktir, he starts loving Krishna, and Krishna also in turn becomes Priya, Prabhu.
Yes. Perfect. So, and you can see that, no? If you see that life of that devotee, you can see, hey, whatever he does with so much of love. I'll give you a simple example. There's one video. I'll try and search that video. I've seen that video in the past. This video is nothing simple. Raj Bhog is happening in the altar. Okay, once Raj Bhog is done, the devotees bring it, and then they enter Prabhupada's room. Say, Prabhupada, we want to serve Raj Bhog for you. Prabhupada said, yes, please. Prabhupada's sitting, and then they have a big plate with a lot of katoris, and Prabhupada is served Raj Bhog. And Prabhupada will always say, stay here only. Don't just serve and run away. Okay, because you have to serve with care. Okay. Every point of it, he'll take chapati, and he'll take palya, gravy, and he'll eat. And he'll eat with so much of love. Because he's in Krishna. He's in Krishna prem in that prasad. He'll eat it with so much of love. And he'll not waste anything. And of course, he'll leave some for his devotees because they will take Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad. But he'll love. See, I'll tell you you can ask, what is their eating, Prabhu? Just take it and gulp it. No. Every act is an act of devotion. You eat it with love. Because you see prasad. You see Lord's love in it. That is Prabhupada. First of all, let's become Prabhupada. Let's know what sort of a man he is. How much he teaches us. That will make our life glorious. So, similarly, take each and everything. Altar. Cleaning the altar. Do it with dedication. Don't do just like that. Whatever you do. That's the point here. That's what our acharyas teach us. Good thought.
Those things are all not able to do, Prabhu. But as you said, I feel I am in Vanaprastha. Many things I just give up, but not able to completely come out and totally dedicate, Prabhu. I'm trying to.
Until you're running your business and activities, you're not in Vanaprastha. You're still in Grihastha Ashram. Vanaprastha means first leave off your main business activity.
Yes, that's a practice, na Prabhu. That's not, it's a service
Not a
again.
practice, it's a material activity. You may call it as a practice by your definition, but it's a material activity.
Yeah, to do something, Prabhu.
Yeah, think about it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. When
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said about Vanaprastha, We are all nearing 70 plus, Prabhu. So,
Yeah, you're already late. Vanaprastha, technically, you're supposed to take once you're 50 plus. And you may say, no, response is still not over. Okay, so that overlap time, the cusp time is 10 years. That means max is 60. So you should take Vanaprastha before 60. If you allow that also to cross, then you're not doing a good job. You're missing the point.
yes. We have to be
Hare
very
Krishna,
serious
Prabhu.
and determined to
Yes, Mataji?
take a proper decision. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes,
Prabhu,
Mataji.
I left my job as soon as I heard Bhagavad Gita. But sometimes, Prabhu, for children's sake, now and then, I have to get involved in material activities, Prabhu.
So that's what Prabhupada said. I will liberate each of you if you're at least 70% Krishna consciousness. Okay. So Prabhupada knows there are certain difficulties in this material world. So he said 70%. So that 70% has multiple stages. The first stage is what? I will get rid of my material activities, but somehow I have my responsibilities because my children need by the thing, but I'll restrict that to a very minimal one. And that comes under the balance 30%. Okay.
Yes.
So, but that 30% should not influence the 70%. Your 70% should influence the 30%. That's the point.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare
Yes.
Krishna. I was always worried about it. Thank you very much.
Stop worrying. Chant Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Anything else? Any other questions? Okay, thank you all so much. I hope you all.
I think you should counsel separately.
I'm open.
Yes, Prabhu. Not
I'm
in
open to
this forum.
counsel.
Yeah. One day maybe.
Whoever wants to learn this into deeper manners, techniques, what it may be, we'll have a separate session. Even online session is fine. We can discuss. It's just the time we have to manage. But if you are able to manage time, we can discuss. You can do it.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Everything is impossible. Everything is possible.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Do whatever your life is, keeping Krishna in the center. Okay. Thank you. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Bhagavad ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Dai Gaur Premanand.
And Hari.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Sitaram Pavanebhyo
Dandavat Pranam
Vaishnavebhyo
Prabhu.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Tat Sat.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
1.47 you
Dandavat.
explained once actually about the three deities of Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami. These things I just get how to remember the three of them. Sambandha Abhideya.
Either we'll discuss in our Friday class or in our BCS class.
Yes, Prabhu.
That can be clear. We'll discuss that.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.